pull up my phone and see if it's working.
I think we're good. A podcast about bourbon and the ones who drink it. This is Bourbon Matters. Welcome to Bourbon Matters. I'm Jake.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Gold Eagle Jake.
And this is the March Dramness 2024 Final Four and Championship Round live. Yeah.
We think.
So yeah, I guess let's just get into it. I think everybody that's watching knows the rules, but I'll just run through them real quick as a recap. So number one, had to be an American whiskey. And number two, it had to be available, meaning no single barrel store picks were allowed to be entered. But Jake is doing his own only store pick bracket at Gold Eagle, so go check that out. The last two rounds are coming up in the next couple weeks. So
just so everyone's really clear, so Jake knows the rules because he's the one that wrote them, not me and Gold Eagle Jake.
Yeah, you know it. Somebody's got to put the rules together, or else it'd be the fucking Wild West here. So. I think we're not supposed to swear in the first 5 minutes of a live stream.
Yeah,
either,
there goes our monetization.
Okay.
Lost the kid safe check mark.
Yeah. So
people want us to get into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's not waste their time.
Dan, you want to do where we're at right now with the Final Four?
Yeah. So the Final Four in the first bracket, we had A, B, C, or A versus B and C versus D. At the end of it, A came out the winner of the first bracket. We have no idea what any of these whiskeys are yet. We won't know until after we finish the last one and the spreadsheet populates up. In the E, F, G, H bracket, E came out the winner. And then in the I, J, K, L bracket, I came out the winner. And the M, N, O, P, P came out the winner. So what we have tonight is A versus E in one round and I versus P in the other. Winners of both will go on and face off in a final tasting to see which whiskey came out the best.
Yeah.
Jake from Gold Eagle just cleared his palate with something else because I saw his head go all the way back with a Glencairn up to nothing left in that glass. So he's ready.
Making sure it's completely dry.
Yeah.
I had a long day of moving today, and this is my first sip of the day outside of trying a couple of Rickhouse proof Ben Holidays at the bar. So I'm ready to go. Let's get these poured up.
I had a Ben Holiday barrel proof or bonded today.
Oh yeah, they're all pretty solid.
I didn't like their normal soft winter wheat one that they had out, but the bonded was phenomenal.
I hated the winter wheat. Like
the bonded version or the Rickhouse proof?
The bonded.
No, the
normal
one isn't bonded. The normal one's 90s.
Oh, the normal one? Yeah. You poured it at a blind tasting once, I think, Jake.
The straight bourbon is bonded, and the straight bourbon took down George Remus, number 7.
Yeah, I don't think I've had the straight bourbon. I think I've just had the winter wheat, and I hated it. But I think everyone knows that wheat's not my cup of tea, so no harm, no foul.
Yes. So what do you think of your pours, Jake? Are you looking for one for the store or what? Is this inside information we're getting?
What do you mean? Are you talking to me or which
you.
Jake?
You. Sorry,
what do you mean? No. We just got them in at the store for the first time this week. I've seen them floating around, but we haven't been able to get our hands on them until now. So we put one of each at the bar, and I wanted to try them. Heard a lot of good feedback. People are saying good things. I think it's extremely solid for a Missouri straight bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So we'll get into it. We've got A versus E up first. While those guys start nosing and tasting.
Wait, I just got to say really quick. Somebody said, why is the camera only on Dan? It's bad for views.
It's on Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram. I'm on the Instagram live.
So I'm on the one on Instagram. YouTube's got all of us.
Yeah, YouTube has all of us.
Hey, for the person that's watching on Instagram, We'll loosen the zipper up.
It's Kyle.
Pop the collar.
You know a Kyle?
My buddy Kyle.
Runty?
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah.
he's the one that's texting.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Kyle.
All we see on the live.
Thanks
Kyle,
for
you.
participating.
I don't think I've ever met Kyle, but I feel like I know him through the podcast.
Just so you know, be glad that our Fortnite round ended when it did. Otherwise, I'd have been late to this.
Jenna said, "Zip up your jacket, Dan."
For Kyle.
All right. A&E here in the glass.
E.
All right.
E is a lot darker than A.
Yes, for sure.
I'm not sure if you can tell easy from the camera. Did I get my face out of the way?
You can tell on the nose too.
Yeah.
A, I'm getting that fruitiness again. I think I've said it before.
Both noses are really good.
A little bit of grape on it.
I think E's got a little more pop. I'm getting a little more like red fruits on E. Definitely some more oak.
Yeah, there's not. A's younger. It's got some of that green apple in it too, so it's got some. It's got to be less than 5 years, I'm thinking.
Yeah, if I'm recalling correctly, both of these I think were very strong contenders up till this point.
I like the finish on A.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely a cast. That's got to be barrel proof, right? Or
it's probably close.
I think they both probably are. They're not hot, but they're not bottled and bond either.
A lot of the nose carries through on the palate with A.
E lingers for a long while.
It's darker. A lot of I get a little more vanilla in E as well. It's a bit softer. I don't know. You thought it punched a little bit harder. I think on the nose it's a little bit softer.
I think A's a bit softer.
Yeah, I think E
and I think
is pretty bold.
A kind of reminds me of just more traditional Kentucky. Get some nuttiness, definitely some chewy oak. Not a ton of spice, but there's for sure some spice there. And then E.
This is a good matchup.
It is a really good matchup.
Yeah.
This will probably end up being one in the Cold Eagle blind sometime, I'm guessing.
There's like a very small stringency on E that I'm not loving, but once you get past that, once that kind of fades away, the finish just lingers and lingers and lingers with a lot of cooling flavors.
I don't like the palate of E as much as A. I think A's got a better palate. E's got a better finish for me.
And so far, I'm gravitating towards E because I just think it's more complex and I like a long finish. If you know what I mean.
Well, are we ready to vote then?
I need to go back and sip these one more time. I'm not 100% made up, but I am leaning towards E right now.
I like the fruitiness I'm getting on A. It's close. I like A just a little bit better. I'm going to go A. Lock it in.
All right.
I think these are both really good.
Yeah.
Need one more sip of E here. This is a tough one because I keep getting that little stringency on E right out the gate, but then that kind of fades away in the finish with all the fruitful and spicy oak notes kind of stay around. So I'm going to go E here.
A little bit higher proof.
I think it might be a little higher proof. I think to me it's just a little more complex, and that's really what I look for. As long as I love the flavor on both. But E to me is just a little more complex. So that's what's tipping me over to E.
All right, Jake, you get to break the tie.
Yeah, I agree with Jake.
Let's go.
They're both very nice in what they're doing. They're both excellent, but E I think is my palette of choice. So I'm going to go E.
I'm going to say you're both fucking wrong.
No, I'm sticking with this one. I'm sticking hard with E here.
All right. So E will be in the championship round. We have I and P. Again, two
These are
completely different
light.
colored whiskeys. Yeah.
P's a little bit darker, but compared to A and E, these are very light.
Yeah. I's got a little bit of that. A little bit of dusty corn on it. Doesn't.
Yeah.
Doesn't smell nearly as hot.
No, it's the nose is pretty light overall. And those first two were pretty powerful on the nose.
P's got a very pleasant nose.
I have a feeling we already picked a champion.
just off nose.
Dan's.
You thinking E's gonna win? I know.
No, yeah,
we picked a champion
just
last
off
round
the
and
just
A.
off the nose, just off the nose. And Dan already picked I or P because he doesn't want to admit that he is good.
if I remember correctly, I think this whole side of the bracket,
the left side was better than the right side. The A through H was better than the I through P.
Yeah, yeah. There was a lot more like bold and like strong in terms of like flavor content and nose content. I think on A through whatever, rather than the other side. I can't split the alphabet in my head like that. Sorry.
Oh yeah, A and E I think should have been championship.
I's got some type of funk to it.
Yeah.
I's I think
finish,
I does have a little bit of funk, but it has it's one of those journey whiskeys. Like it takes you through a couple different waves of flavor, and right when you think it's going away, something comes back in a different realm. I'm leaning heavy towards I right now, but I need to go back and taste these again.
So while
the finish on I just lingers on too.
Yeah, while we're continuing to taste, go ahead and comment. I know the Instagram live is getting a decent number of comments, but YouTube has a comment section as well for a live chat. So feel free to ask us any questions or anything like that. Tell us how wrong that Dan truly is. Whatever, you know.
Used to it.
And throw out some suggestions for future episodes too.
Yeah.
What should we talk
this
about?
round's
What should we
disappointing.
drink about?
I think we've always said. I think you're right. I think every time we said
It's-
it's been disappointing on this one.
It's very disappointing compared to A&E, but I do think there is some uniqueness in both of these, specifically more towards I for me.
They both seem flat compared to A&E. They don't have much punch. I'm guessing they're both lower proof.
P is pretty flat, and then something comes back on P right when you think it's going away. The same thing sort of happens with I, but that finish is like 5 times longer than the finish on P.
You think I has a longer finish?
I think I is a much longer finish.
Yeah, I agree there. There's something on the palate of I that's not pleasing me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
The initial sip of I, the initial sip is pretty bad. Like it just tastes very, very mellow.
I get like hard.
I'm serious. It tastes very mellow, like watered down Kentucky bourbon, and then 5 seconds later you get some spice and you get a little bit more depth that kind of kicks in.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And then it lingers for a while. You get a lot of spice on the finish, and that hangs around for a little while.
All right. Vote.
Yeah. Do you know?
I know what I'm going with. Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's go reverse order. Go ahead, Jake.
I think I'm gonna go with P.
Oh my god.
I like the palate a bit more. I think P actually has the stronger finish of the two. So
Did you mix them?
Is that what was your chocolate kisses, or what was the name of your blend you created? Is that what you're drinking?
Yeah. Chocolate roses.
Chocolate roses and something else.
Yeah.
Something freedom or something.
You know what? We should do a blend.
Was the one that got walloped in the in the voting.
We should do a little.
The other one would have got walloped too. You'd be like, oh, people said they like this. Remember
that was not the feedback I got. When I poured the second one, people were like, "Oh, I would have picked this over the other two."
After they already had 8 whiskeys.
I know, but
and
still,
they had no direct comparison anymore. So I think we know what that means. Both your blends were shit, Jake. All right, I went first last time, so Jake, it's you.
I'm definitely gonna go with I.
Yeah, I am gonna go with I as well. It wasn't by much. I don't think either. I don't want to go into here thinking it's going to be this way, but I'm pretty sure either one of these aren't going to hold up next round.
I think we got our champion, but
all right. So we have started with 16 whiskeys. We are down to 2, and we have E versus I. EI, and O lost a long time ago.
Nice.
See what I did there?
Good farm joke.
I'm just pretty proud of myself. All right, so these.
All right.
Difference in color off the bat. If you're looking,
vastly different.
Vastly different.
Like, to me, almost looks like a.
It looks like a single malt finished in a bourbon barrel.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Yeah. I was gonna say like a Scotch or a single malt or something like that, but
so again, E, that dark fruit or red fruit, bright, punchy.
I was gonna say the nose. I think on these are popping a little bit more than the last round. But you're absolutely right with E. You get a ton of fruit, a little bit of char, a little bit of oak. I can even get some spice on the nose on E, and then I is more mellow, Kentucky, nutty.
Yeah.
Yeah, E is.
I'm like an E.
Yeah, I think I might be a single malt.
Any of you guys? I mean, at this point, any of you guys put a single malt in?
I did not.
I didn't either.
I did not, unless Roberto didn't know.
Roberto may have
a single malt in.
No, I don't think it's a single malt. I definitely think it's a bourbon, but it's probably around 110 proof, and it's definitely Kentucky, unless it's like a Ben Holiday.
We talked about to start the show off. It would be ironic if that was the case.
We did, yeah. But Ben Holiday kind of reminds me of Kentucky bourbon. It has that nuttiness, peanut, mellow, oaky note. Hard Truth Spirits is watching our live on Instagram.
Aww.
What's up, Hard Truth?
Hard Truth. That was a phenomenal episode.
Yeah, next week we'll
was
have.
It phenomenal because I wasn't on it.
Yeah, it was. To be frank.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Actually, Dan, we didn't shit talk you.
How can you
not once?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, we
were
pretty.
I would highly recommend listening to that episode because it was a really good episode. We could have kept talking for 3 hours with Brian.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, next week, Hard Truth. Jake and I interviewed their master distiller. It's an excellent episode, so keep an eye out for that next week.
And now you get hard truth since you're watching on Instagram. You get to see what I look like since you missed me. Nice to meet you.
All right, I think we're ready to vote.
I held
Who
up
are
more than
you?
I thought it would against E.
Oh, you really? Okay.
I'm not ready to vote.
It's not close. I thought it was gonna be a lot farther apart than what it was. I think side by side they did a little bit better than what I thought they would.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go with E.
I actually think I got a little worse going next to E. Yeah.
Maybe it's because I played it up in my head that I thought it was gonna be such a wide spread, and then it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. But
yeah, I mean, I's not that bad.
I mean, it's not that bad at all. And I should rephrase
saying
that
it's a good whiskey, but it's
I should rephrase that. Yes, it is a very good whiskey. I think it's a bourbon. There's nothing really wrong with it. But E is good. Who put E in? What is it? I want to know. Everything from the nose to the palate to the finish. It's not the smoothest and easiest whiskey, but it's got a lot of flavor. It's very complex. And one of the big things I look for in a whiskey is how long the finish lasts, and this one just goes on for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so we all picked E, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I will announce I'll get all the.
What was E?
E, the winner, was Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Jake R put that one in.
What?
Versus Fighting Cock.
I thought this was whiskeys we can find on the shelf.
No, available. It was available.
That's BS.
And then he had Fighting Cock.
We gotta redo this. Fighting Cock. I'm surprised on that one.
I was Fighting Cock?
You were Fighting Cock as well. You don't even remember what you were putting in. That's great.
No, I know I put in Fighting Cock, but I didn't know that was I.
Damn.
Yeah,
so you can't blend whiskey, but you can do something right. Taste and pick.
So yeah, the final four, we all had one in the final four. So the I versus P was Fighting Cock versus Maker's Cast Strength.
Ooh.
Hold on, let me I'm gonna pull up the bracket so everyone can see.
And then the A versus D was Smooth Ambler Cast Strength that I submitted versus Elijah Craig Barrel Proof.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Wow. I'm kind of shocked on some of these.
That Smooth Ambler is a good entry.
I mean, that is a very good matchup to start. Smooth Ambler against Barrel 35.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm putting
Remember I said B was the one that got away.
Oh yeah.
B was the one that I picked that you guys didn't pick, and I was like, if B would have won this round, it would have made a run.
Yeah.
It would have absolutely made a run.
Tough competition.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I would have taken down the Yellowstone Toasted and the Old Pepper Rye. Yeah, no, that Elijah Barrel Proof. This what batch is this? This does not remind me of Elijah Barrel Proof. It's got way more spice than I usually get. I actually thought this might have been the Maker's Mark Cast Strength.
The Elijah Craig. It's the C923. So this was my whiskey of the year.
All right, yeah. So,
you took one of
the most hard to find whiskeys of the year that everybody wanted. Yeah. All right, folks, you can go out and grab your Elijah Craig C923 now because it won the bracket.
Going out on a limb there. You know what's funny? You know what the good news is? He wasted it on us, though.
I mean, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it.
The love around, you know.
But that's still bullshit.
Yeah, I'm going through and putting all of the letters in so we'll be able to backfill the brackets. So, Jake, or both of you guys want to tell us what you all put in?
Yeah, so obviously I put in the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C923, which is the winner. The That's my second March Dramness victory in a row. So congrats to
Both
myself.
victories by putting something that you can never find on the shelf in it.
Who put McKenna tenure? Come on.
Roberto.
So I had Elijah Craig, I had Fighting Cock, Rittenhouse Rye, and Heaven Hill. Where is it? Heaven Hill Bib.
Wow, I'm actually surprised. Maker's Cask, Heaven Hill Bib in the first round.
Yeah, well, Maker's Cast Strength is very
good. Maker's Cask is very good. I think it's one of the it's for sure the most underrated whiskey that you can find at every store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I think I'm surprised that Fighting Cock did so well too.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I am. But I think that was the corner of the bracket that was kind of like meh.
Yeah, I mean that whole almost everything there is. Except for the Garrison Brothers Balmoria and Maker's Cast Strength, almost all of that's 100 proof or below, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So everything on the other side is pretty much cast strength, I think.
Yeah,
or near cast strength. So
did Jenna pick that out and separate them like that?
This was all random.
Oh, really? I was gonna say that would have been a good job on her part on putting all the cash strengths together and the non.
I'm also surprised there's more than one rye in this bracket.
I'm surprised too.
I don't remember. I think we got the Old Pepper rye correct as a rye, but I don't think we got Rittenhouse rye.
That was we had possibly a rye on that one from round one.
So yeah, that's interesting to see too. Yeah, I mean overall, this is a pretty good.
Why do you like to see the Fighting Cock beat the Makers? We love Makers.
We waiting for a comment back.
She said she set this up perfectly on purpose. I mean, she did. If she did, then well done. But yeah, Maker's Cash Strength is an underdog too.
Yeah, I would say it is.
It's a $40 bottle you can find at any store. That was my submission, and I thought that one was going to run all the way.
That's a good entry.
And I actually pick things that are on the shelf all the time at most places so that we can help our listeners find good whiskeys to pick up.
Everything else I put in is on the shelf.
Well, you next year make the rules. Everyone can have one anything whiskey, and the rest are on the shelf.
All right. Well,
see, Jake
we'll tighten it up
and he
next
cheats
year.
his own rules. Is how he decides to win all the time. He's kind of like Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
All right. So we can go through the brackets now. Everything's filled in. Makes it a little bit easier. So as we already got it up on the screen a little bit. So round one. We had Smooth Ambler Cast Strength versus Barrel Batch 35. Smooth Ambler won. Then Old Pepper Rye beat Yellowstone Toasted. And Smooth Ambler Cast Strength knocked out Old Pepper Rye to be the winner of that bracket. Second bracket, we had Elijah Craig Barrel Proof take on Stellan Black. That was a clean sweep. And then the Remus Repeal 6 versus McKenna 10. McKenna 10 knocked Remus Repeal out. I threw Remus Repeal in there because I didn't like it. 5 of them my favorite whiskeys of all time, and I did not like 6. So it's a way for me to unload some whiskey. And it proves why. I'm glad I did that. Also, this is the second time I've done this tournament. Jake's won both times by putting stuff that you can never find in. I don't win by putting in stuff I don't like to get rid of it. So we have different strategies.
Yeah, your strategy is bold, Cotton.
Yeah. So Elijah Craig, Barrel Proof, ended up beating Remus Repeal Reserve 6. On the other side, we had Fighting Cock take on Rittenhouse Rye. Fighting Cock won, and Wild Turkey Single Barrel versus Jack Daniel's Maple Wood Finish. Wild Turkey won. Both of those were split votes, 2-1 each time.
On which one?
On the Fighting Cock versus Rittenhouse and the Wild Turkey versus Jack Daniels. Both of those are split.
Did you put in the JD?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Trying to get rid of that bottle too. I like that bottle, but something different. And then Wild Turkey versus Fighting Cock. That was a clean sweep for Fighting Cock. And then the last one we had.
Yeah.
We had
Was that the Wild Turkey single barrel? Do you, Jake? I'm assuming that was you.
No.
No, that was Roberto.
Oh, it was Roberto.
It's right on your screen.
Is it this one? It might be this one. Yeah.
Oh, Kentucky Spirit.
I think so. And this one's
yeah, those are good.
101 proof.
Those are good.
Final bracket was Chattanooga 111 versus Garrison Brothers Balmaria, which is funny because I just finished my bottle of that not too long ago, and that's the one we said that looked like it was Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And we were for sure was a Texas whiskey. We were right.
Yep.
Jenna said yes, it's the one in your office.
Here's the funny thing. I was the only one that didn't vote for Garrison Brothers in that round.
Yeah.
And I think I've talked about that bottle a couple times in this podcast too.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it is a good bottle.
It's a decent bottle. It's not worth the price. But
wait. Oh, in the second round versus the Makers?
Garrison, the first round, Garrison beating Chattanooga.
God. Wait, it won though.
It beat Chattanooga.
Oh, you voted for the Chattanooga.
I voted for Chattanooga. Hey,
Yeah.
here's
Yeah,
the best.
I got you.
Here,
Yeah.
all right, here's what I cannot wait to tell people about. The bottom of this bracket was Maker's Mark versus Heaven Hill Bib. One person voted for Heaven Hill Bib, and 2 people voted for Makers. How did those votes fall?
I didn't vote for Heaven Hill, I'm guessing.
You did not vote for Heaven Hill. You voted for Makers, who doesn't
Who
like
did?
wheat. Jake voted for Makers. I voted for Heaven Hill Bib.
I mean, the
So you
Maker's
want to eat
cast
some shit
strength
right
is
now of
very
how
good.
wheat is not good? You
Jake-
hate wheat whiskeys?
Well,
I mean, Jake did just buy a bottle of Maker's Cash Strength
yeah,
yesterday
it did.
off of Gold Eagle's app. So
I know, but I just want to hear.
he does
I want to
he
hear
does
Rick
like
talk.
Maker's Cash Strength.
He does. He talks shit about Makers and all wheat whiskeys and how much better.
No, he doesn't.
No.
He doesn't talk shit about Makers. He talks shit about Weller and other wheat whiskey, but he doesn't talk shit about Makers.
We can go back and
No,
find many cases.
He
where
likes
not like
he likes Makers.
Regular Makers sucks, and it's god awful, and they should not make it. All of their
that's a
other
bad
products
take. That's a
are
bad
good.
take.
Yeah.
All of their other stuff though is good.
That's my. You're at a dive bar. What am I ordering? Regular Makers with 1 ice cube.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like it.
That's
There's just
that
something
just makes
Makers.
my favorite. You didn't vote for
Makers-
versus the wheat.
Yeah, that's great. Makers is really good. I do love the Heaven Hill Bonded. I think that's a great everyday bourbon to grab now that it's on the shelf all the time.
Yeah.
But Makers does not drink like a typical wheated bourbon. It's a lot more offensive than what we typically find in wheated bourbons. You get a ton of spice in that red winter wheat. But yeah,
It's
I
more
don't know. I think
complex and like
way more complex than a standard wheated bourbon, which is why some people it's just too much.
yeah. Well, especially when you get into like the 101 and the cast strength.
Mhm.
That's where the Makers, the normal Makers distillate really shines, in my opinion. It needs higher proof to me to really be good.
So unique facts. The only time Elijah Craig barrel proof, the winner, did not get a vote was the time that I voted against it in the Final Four matchup. And ended up voting for Smooth Ambler. Otherwise, it was a clean sweep. Everyone it faced except for Smooth Ambler.
Yeah, that Smooth Ambler is awesome. And that's the bourbon, right?
Yeah, that was the bourbon cast strength.
Yeah, I mean,
I was at a liquor store, not to be named, one day, and they had it on the shelf, so I got myself.
What was it? 120 proof?
I don't even know. I don't think the bottle.
I think it's up there.
I didn't think it was that high.
And Well, I think their standard proof point is 120. I know they do all their single barrels at 120.
Let's see here. 122.8.
Oh. So it was
Which
an actual cast strength.
Yeah. That's their.
Yeah, it's a really, really good bourbon.
They were one of our Jake, Gold Eagle Jake, you wouldn't know this. One of our first podcasts, one of our earliest podcasts we did, we talked about their cast strength rye that either you or Roberto had got. We talked about it, and then they ended up. They were the first distiller to ever mention us on social.
Yeah,
we talked about it. So then we did a couple of their other products because I like the. I've never tried the Contradiction Rye by Smooth Ambler, but their Contradiction Bourbon I like.
Yeah, that's right.
With the elephant on it.
Yeah, the Founders Series cast strength rye is unbelievably good. That's the one we tried on the podcast really early on.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess probably the biggest surprise is Barrel Batch 35 going down early.
Well, that was a very good matchup, but and I'm on record saying that was the one that got away.
Just looking back on that on round one of our thoughts from Smooth Ambler was that it was probably around 100 proof, and we thought that the Batch 35 was 100 to 108 proof. A little off on those.
I mean, they're both super solid whiskeys, and
I think they both drank well under their proof point.
Yeah, that's another thing I look for when I'm looking for a good whiskey is something that drinks under its proof point. So, I think with that matchup, you really can't go wrong, and that kind of stays true for most of the left side of the bracket until you get down to the bottom there with the McKenna.
That's the one you called creme brulee, Jake. Jake Gold Eagle.
Yeah, it's very soft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think those are the biggest kind of surprises.
I think the biggest takeaway is next year we're allowed to cheat and throw in a rare bottle.
Well, that Smooth Ambler is just as scarce now as the Elijah Craig barrel.
It is. Mm-hmm.
So I shouldn't be taking all the heat just because I win.
I can buy it right now for $55.99 online.
If I looked really hard, I could probably buy the Elijah Craig barrel proof.
Not for that price.
Yeah, no. We need to have somebody approve or deny every entry next year.
I can walk into a store that is 30 minutes away from me and buy it on the shelf.
Well, by
the
you,
cash
you
strength
live in the middle of nowhere.
Geneva's
it's full of dust and it's been there since 2009.
Yeah, because Geneva's full of shit people. Geneva and St. Charles, a lot of the lowlifes that don't know anything about whiskey are there.
So if anybody lives in that area that's listening to
Jake,
this,
are you looking right now to see if you can get it at your store? Is that what you're doing?
No.
I saw your eyes go down to your phone. I'm like, he's looking to see if he can get it in right now.
No, I'm looking at the Instagram live feed. Keeping us updated on comments.
Right? Yeah, P was Maker's cast strength.
Yeah, P, this is good.
I want to have some of that.
I'm going back.
That was a good submission. Who did that?
Asking questions that you already know the answer to.
Yeah. That's funny. So I didn't vote for Garrison in round one versus Heaven Hill. When it was hold on. Is that right?
Garrison versus Chattanooga.
Garrison versus Chattanooga. I did not pick Garrison, and I was the only person to not pick Garrison. And round two, Garrison versus Makers, I was the only person that picked Garrison.
All right, Jake, I got a question for you. Why Fighting Cock? Why'd you put that in there?
Because you turned me on to it, like over the summer or something. And it's like under $20, and it's a really good whiskey for the price point. It's 6-year Heaven Hill, so it's a sleeper. I was hoping that it would actually perform this well.
I mean, I think that's pretty damn good for a $20 bottle plastic screw top.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's up against. I mean, the Maker's cast strength is like $40. The other two are 50 and 80.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good.
Well, it almost beat Blanton's gold in our blind tasting, and now we've got it making a run in this bracket all the way to the final. So
yeah,
man, I don't know.
That Yellowstone
is that coupon code still live?
It is, yeah. I was gonna say BM Cock still going, 10% off on Fighting Cock whiskey at goldeaglewine.com. And not
don't
investment.
Type it in your work computer. Just do it on your phone. Don't do it on your work computer.
BM Cock, folks. Yeah, not investment advice, but I don't know. That's one of those whiskeys where I would maybe buy a couple cases, stash it aside, and as soon as they decide to put a cork in that bottle and rebrand it, it's going to be a $60 bottle on the shelf. Just wait. I said that, I think, a year ago on this podcast.
Yeah. I think when that was another episode I think Dan missed when we talked
about it's coming. So. It's coming. Because, I mean, they did the same thing with the Heaven Hill, the 6-year that was in Kentucky, the bonded. And now it's the 7-year, and it's available nationwide for 2.5 times the price. And it tastes really good. Like, I'll still buy it for $50, but they're going to realize Fighting Cock should be a $50 bottle with maybe a few minor tweaks to the label or screw top.
Yeah.
I just want to say, Jenna Ray, I am a little mad that both two of my whiskeys were in the first top bracket. When I had
Brasket
versus the Old Pepper Rye. So one of my
it's random.
One of my sleeper picks got knocked out by the other sleeper pick. Barrel Spirit. So Barrel Craft lost the first round of batch 35 in a close matchup, and Stellum Black did not win either.
Mm-hmm.
Stellum Black is a little underwhelming, and honestly, Dan, I kind of went with the Dan method on that one and wanted to kind of get rid of it, but also thought it might make a little run just because it's a well-rounded, hits a bunch of different flavor notes. But nothing. Stellum Black is never going to beat Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Batch C 923. I mean, we're talking unicorn against $100 bottle on the shelf.
Yeah. Yep. Well,
and one of the best batches ever of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Not just any Elijah Craig Barrel Proof.
Some of us have standards that we hold ourselves to, and others are just called Jake.
Yep. Jake R. For the record.
Haters are gonna hate. I don't know what else to say.
Other than that,
it's,
I don't see
my second
really
victory.
Surprises me. I put for
so
6 in, hoping it would get.
Which one was that? Garrison was N. I'm gonna go back and try that one.
Yeah, I mean that was the one.
The dark one. The dark one.
Yeah, so that was where we went up. It was up against the obviously now the Makers, and I think that's
right. I think we guessed it was Garrison. I think I guessed it was Garrison.
Yeah, Texas.
Yeah, we said it was Texas for sure. But I voted for Garrison the first time, and I voted against it in that matchup against the Makers, because I felt like the Makers had something a little bit more interesting about it. I don't remember if maybe you can pull up the note, Dan, on that matchup.
Makers, we had honey, floral notes, light and delicate, compared to lots of char, grainy,
lots of char.
Coke,
yeah, I mean you can see how dark this.
It's super dark.
Garrison Brothers Bel
All right.
This is basically a Texas double oak. So
yeah.
That's about as dark as you're ever going to get a whiskey.
So Jenna, the official judge of the blind bracket says that victory on a technicality, and I agree with that. Because technically you won, but technically that's bullshit. And Julia said, damn fine choice on the Elijah C923, but she also just joined the live feed and didn't hear the rules.
Yeah. Jake R gave us the rules and then didn't follow them, like always. Yeah.
The rule was available.
Yes, the rule.
The
rule was
find it right now.
Findable, available whiskeys. Our goal with this is to show our listeners what's out there that they can find that tastes great.
And we did that.
After the first? What can they go pick up off the shelf after it makes a run in this March Dramness tournament? Well, folks, you can go pick up Fighting Cock, Maker's Cash Strength. You can't go pick up the Elijah Barrel Proof. I'm sorry to say.
Everything else I put in here is off the shelf, all day, every day. I felt like I was entitled to a little bit of a unicorn to cut through. Through some of the noise.
So here's the funny thing: is Jake put in Fighting Cock and Elijah Craig Barrel Proof that made it to the finals. The other two lost their first round matchup. So technically, he wasn't allowed to put the Elijah Craig in. He would have had 3 not get past the first round. He would have been on Fighting Cock.
Yeah. So, and this was also, this was his revenge on coming in dead last in the blend off.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna win March Dramness.
I went with all Heaven Hill product too. I'm just out here to show that Heaven Hill's the best, number one.
Except for you.
And that
it is all Heaven Hill.
I'm the best at picking whiskeys.
You picked it at Maker's Mark over Heaven Hill. Just throwing it out there.
I know, but every other time I picked the Heaven Hill, I'm pretty sure.
60% of the time, Jake's
well,
right.
Two of mine were against each other up in the top right. So that was a lose-lose for me. But
all right, yep. It's set. You're not allowed to make the rules next time, and we need a third party to approve all the bottles that get into the bracket.
Everyone agreed to the rules. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we agreed to the rules, and some of us didn't follow them.
It's really that simple.
It's very simple.
Well, I guess that was fun.
I do love the exclusivity Heaven Hill submission. But yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I think you can never trust what people tell you. Jake, you're gonna make one.
Well, you can trust what people tell you, but not Jake R.
I broke Dan for the rest of his life. He's just never gonna trust anyone ever again.
Julia next year is going to be the third party that has to approve if they're findable or not.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I don't know. I'll go back to the rules. I'm pretty sure I never said findable. I said available.
That's the same thing.
Well, so
it's not available.
I can find it for like $300 online right now.
Exactly. You did say the whole goal of this was to show people what's good in a blind and what they can go out and buy.
Yeah.
So
I think for the most part we stuck to that.
Yeah, for the most part, except for one bottle that won the bracket.
The smooth ambler is just as difficult to find.
I can walk to a store that
Dan, your bumblefuck
right now.
store.
I do agree that it is also kind of hard to find.
Google it by you there, Jacob.
Maybe I could go to that store and find C923 too.
I bet you can't. I can walk into a store within 30 minutes and grab 3 bottles if I wanted it.
I have not seen that smooth ambler in a long time anywhere around us.
I've never seen it offered to us.
Yeah, you never got the rye either, right?
We have the rye, but not the cash strength.
I can save $5 on the rye right now if you want me to get one for you, Jake.
But also we had to kind of give up a little bit on rye whiskeys because the average consumer just isn't educated enough.
Yeah, it's a damn shame.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we'll have to wait for next year for Jake to try and play by the rules.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other? We were talking last time, Dan, about another competition or competition adjacent thing that we want to do next. Another
I
bracket.
think I said that sometime at a blind tasting, Jake needs to put something two versus each other in the first round, then back again in the third round and see people vote different.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yes, Fighting Cock is the new champion.
I'll take that.
That's fine. I know, that's fine. If a $20 screw cap bottle won it all and you put it in, that's perfectly fine. I'll give you all the props to that. So well done.
Yeah, plus we get to use that great coupon code again. Jake, what is the coupon code that people can use right now?
BM Cock, 10% off Fighting Cock bourbon. It's only $19.99. You'll get it for like $17.99. But in a couple of years, as soon as more people catch on, it'll be a $60 bottle guaranteed.
Or you can, maybe just get a Gold Eagle single barrel and throw it on an auction site.
That too.
For $400.
Some people do that.
Some people do that. Weird how you can find stuff from Gold Eagle private label on auction sites for way more than what it's worth. Interesting.
It's really not interesting. We sell it. We sell those bottles to our top customers. We're very transparent about that. And if you make the list, I don't care what you do with the bottles. You spent enough money to get that bottle. So, if I found out it was you, I'm probably not going to sell you that bottle again. But the rules are the rules, right? Got to follow the rules.
Yep. Something two of the three of us do.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying that?
What?
Oh, that I broke the rules on this. I thought you were trying to call me out for flipping bottles from Gold Eagle. I was like, gee, that's a strong accusation.
Yeah, Wild Turkey 101 should have been in here, but I also think I don't know, maybe we should have like a proof range that we should follow also in the rules for next year. Like it has to be between like 100 and 120 or something. I don't know.
I think we should do a like 25 and under bracket.
25 and under. Yeah.
Or
we could even do
bottled and bond bracket or something like that.
We could do all right, here's an idea. What we should do is like instead of 16, maybe just 8 and do it all in one night, the whole bracket.
Yeah.
Just do like mini episodes, mini brackets, bottled and bond, under 90 proof and under, 120 proof and up. That would be interesting.
Yeah. If you're watching live, let us know if any of these things sound fun for you guys.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know in the comments. I think that'd be fun to do like little mini brackets where just one episode we go through the whole thing real quick and 8 whiskeys and we all pick 2 or 3 to put in there.
Awesome. All right. Well, as a reminder, if you just tuning in for the last second, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C923, which is impossible to find and was sold out as second the store got it, was the winner.
Well, thank God the runner-up makes me a winner too.
So that's exciting. Glad that we could spend all this time to realize that something that's called one of the greatest whiskeys is beat a bunch of stuff that you can find locally on the shelf. So that's about it. Jake, a lot of these whiskeys people can actually buy at Gold Eagle. Where can
a lot of them we can, except for the Champion, but yeah, most of the other ones are there. And if you're looking for the Smooth Ambler, we have a Smooth Ambler barrel pick that's 120 proof and phenomenal. It's on sale for $50 right now, so I can't really give a coupon code for it because it's already discounted. But that barrel pick took down a Smoke Wagon Uncut. So if you like barrel proof MGP bourbon,
close to a barrel batch 35. Ours did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you like barrel proof MGP, or high proof MGP, high proof bourbon, tastes great. Definitely pick up our Smooth Ambler pick. But yeah, everything else, except for the one bottle that was entered, is available at Gold Eagle. and goldeaglewine.com. You can see our entire inventory, shop there, download our app, use the BM Cock coupon code to get 10% off, $2 off Fighting Cock. Or actually, did we do? I think we might have done 15% off because it was only a $20 bottle to do. I think it is. So yeah, 15% off with BM Cock, save $3 on the Fighting Cock, and that it's gonna be a $60 bottle pretty soon here. And just mark my words, I'm going on record saying that. So yeah, thanks for listening, and yeah, throw it back to you guys.
Yeah, so thanks for everybody that tuned in. You'll be able to watch this on Sunday or listen to it on Sunday as normal. And then we'll have our episode with Hard Truth Master Distiller the following week. Tune into that, and there might be a coupon code buried in that episode too, so make sure you listen to the whole thing. And yeah, you can watch us on YouTube or Spotify. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Awesome. All right, well, that ends March Dramness. The championship games are coming up for the NCAA. So cheers, boys.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.